Alright, here's another quote-unquote short video. They always tend to go on a little longer than I intended them to, but this one should be short. I want to talk a little bit more about attack waypoints. The base waypoints we covered already, patrols, all sorts of good stuff like that. But there's a couple more key ones you can start adding in here now that I just want to talk about. First things first is if you've got a bunch of land units here and you want to cover an area, what you'll notice a lot of times is when you click through, your guys will just go that way. You know, it doesn't matter what they run into, they're going to run through. They're going to fire at everything as they go, but they're not really going to focus fire. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to shoot at something if it's in range, and as soon as they move out of range, they carry on. If it didn't die, well then so be it. It lived to fight another day. So this type of waypoint here, we're pretty used to. Click, click, click. It's still pretty handy. You can fire and forget. I can go over here now and do stuff. I mean, you can guarantee these guys are going to get some work done here. We're going to take out that extractor, maybe if I drag a waypoint, maybe even the next one if they don't die. But not always the most useful thing to do. What we can do, if we hold control, if we hold Shift and Alt, then instead of regular waypoints, we get attack waypoints. You can see obviously clearly they're red. You can go back to putting regular ones, but if you just go like this and give them this waypoint now, watch the difference. They're going to group up here. Actually, let me just redo this. There we go. So they're going to come to this point here, and once they do, they're going to go on attack, which means they're not going to run past everything. They are going to stop. Every time one of them gets in range of something, it is going to stop. Bang, bang. Great thing about this is it lets other tanks, what have you, catch up, and now you're actually concentrating fire a lot better than if this guy was already here by now. He would be marching into these tanks and dying by himself. Now we've got a little bit of critical mass, a little bit of concentrated fire. That's the upside. The downside is that they're standing still, which means the artillery can wreck them. So do be careful. It's got ups and downs, but just by doing this now, they're not going to move until everything's dead. I mean, you know you can tell they're totally going to win here now because the concentrated fire is tremendous. Even if more units were filtering in, this is pretty strong. If you know they're going to be hitting fire on the way through, and you know that you want them to fight everything they hit. Sometimes running straight in is the best. I mean, sure, if they're just meeting a trickle, don't have them wait. Have them just run right in because, you know, sure, kill the units in here, but what you really want them to do is cause some mayhem and damage. So I'm going to call this off. This works for everything, of course. This works for bombers. This works for anything you'd be fighting with. I'm going to test something up here that I wanted to do as well. And I'm going to let this build in the background. I think this will work. Anyways, so yeah, the attack moves are great. Patrols obviously take care of a lot of that too. If things are on patrol, they will do the same thing the attack move does. So when you take these guys and give them a patrol, as soon as they run into something, they're not going to run through it. They're going to stop and fight it. So patrols do the same thing as the red attack move does. Okay. Now, what I really want to show you guys, though, is something that is mostly beneficial to bombers. But I'm going to demonstrate on ground units because it's a little easier to show. If you want to attack everything, if you go like this and this and this, then these guys are going to attack them in the order I specified, right? Which is overkill in this case for sure. Just do it to these guys here. But what we have is we have something called Shift G, which is the group attack, I guess is the best way to remember. Shift G is going to be a little weird. You're just going to have to practice it. But Shift G is going to split these waypoints up. Instead of these guys focus firing one until they're dead, which don't get me wrong, is great for tier 3 units, for example. If somebody starts bringing tier 3 tanks and you've got some tier 2 and tier 1, by all means, focus fire them like that. It's your best chance of survival. But then the flip is true for all the tier 1 spam. You don't need to focus fire tier 1 spam. What you do want to do is maximum damage, especially if you're the other way around. If you've got the big explosive units or anything with an AoE, you don't want to focus fire. Quit chasing that guy. Now, if my opponent would oblige me here, I'm just going to show you with these 4 engineers coming. And I'm going to back my guys off just to do this. So what I want to do is I want to click each and every one of them, like I just did, holding Shift, trying to have a move order in there. But by Shift G now, it actually spreads the attack orders through your group. So you're going to see now my guys, every 3 or 4 of them, they basically all have an order to attack a different engineer. And they're just going to sweep in there and spread the fire out and kill the trash. Not the most amazing thing with land units, but here's what I want to show you. That's a lot of bombers. I don't need that many. God, I don't really even need that many. I've got radar blips, that's all I need, but I'm just gonna check this out. Make sure I know what I'm attacking. I kind of wish these guys were moving towards me. He's kind of waiting to get a few here. But that's fine. Here, give me 1 second. I will sweep. I'll sweep the air. Maybe we'll trigger some movement. God, that's even more interceptors than I need. Let's pend a couple back here. Alright, take my bombers. I really don't want to overkill this. I want to show you guys how useful it is. Oh, we've got some Tech 2 units out here. Well, it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing. We are going to attack one, but we're going to hold shift now and queue up all the other units we would want to attack. And they don't need to be physically close. Here come a couple running. Let's go like this. Now, again, with the shift G, instead of these guys dropping all their bombs right there, and you kill some with AoE splash, and then they move on to the next target, we've just split this entire thing up. And we've done it with way less micromanagement than it would normally take. You can do this on, I could include things if I want to add a couple guys, I can do this, right? Add a couple more. I can also shift G and it's going to switch them up every time. So I shouldn't have done that so late. But anyways, you can see they just instantly switched. They're all picking different targets. This will absolutely wreck a cloud of units moving towards you. Way better than you could ever hope to do. I mean, your other options are to try to grab these guys and click that guy, and grab 2 of these guys and click that guy, and grab these guys and click that guy, right? They will, I've messed it up by showing you that, but they will, actually no, I didn't mess it up. They will move on to the next target after, if you've shared it across a group and their target dies, each bomber will move on to another target until the entire group is dead. Shift G is awesome for bombers. It's good for some other stuff, but it's amazingly awesome for bombers. And like I say, you just can't, you can spend a lot of time while these bombers in flight trying to make it better, and I don't think you'll be able to do it. So shift G is your friend. Shift G, shift G, shift G. Now I'm going to try one other thing I actually haven't tested, so this is the bonus part of the video. Because I don't know if this will work, but I assume it will. I thought about this, I was kind of pre-recording this, and I stopped in the middle going, wait a second. Oh, I'm fully loaded of missiles here. Okay, so this should work the same way. How many have we got here? 8. If I grab 8 of these, and I go, do I still select? Yeah. Oh shit sticks! I put them out of range. Well, let's just. Oh, this is why you don't do this stuff on the fly. Okay, you guys can laugh at me now. There's no way of doing a ground attack without launching them. Well, that's unfortunate. Anyways, I'll demonstrate. I'm pretty sure with 8 of these guys, if I was in range and I right-clicked 8 targets, I'm pretty sure I could shift G so that they're not all launching at the first target, then launching at the second target, then launching at the third target. Or if I only wanted to pick 4 targets, same thing. I'm pretty sure it would randomly spread them so that maybe 2 missiles fire at each and everything. Pretty explosion effect from that mod I got. Anyways, so I'm pretty sure that would work. I'm going to have to test it out off video and let you guys know later. But Shift G, like I say, it works for pretty much anything. You can use it for bombers. I mean, God, if you had Tech 2 or Tech 3 bombers and wanted to just wreck units again, same thing. It's super powerful. So, alright, play with that. Play with the attack moves. They're good too. I mean, even a bomber here, you can just tell them to come through this way, and they will, they'll just attack everything they see and go back and wait until it's dead and then move on. So, play with it. Alright? Hey, thanks for liking and subscribing to my Patreon. Here's your bonus footage. Actually, so I just did, I kind of let this guy suffer for a bit, and I moved my missile launchers forward. And what I said is sort of true, it's sort of not true. You gotta be, missile launchers are weird beasts, so you gotta do something specific here. If I can't just right-click attack things for the whole Shift-G spreading out the things, because missile launchers don't work like that. You don't right-click things. You hit launch, and then you left-click things. And you can hold Shift and queue things up. But as soon as I hit the first one, those missile launchers are gonna launch immediately. and just try to eradicate this poor fool. And he's moving, so that ain't even going to happen. So that ain't gonna. What you have to do is extra step. You have to select all the missile launchers. You have to turn them to no fire. No fire. Now you can hit down here. You can hit your launch button. Now you can do what we were talking about doing. I'm going to hit 4 targets. 1, 2. Actually, well, we got a lot. I'm going to hit all the soft targets. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go radar 7, 8. Okay, now because they're on hold down here, they haven't fired. Now you can hit Shift G. And look at that. All you got to do is select your missile launchers, select your targets, Shift Z, and then put them on fire. Now there's also something else I think is a bug. I think if you queue up multiple targets, I'm not entirely sure that these things will fire. That's a separate issue from the spreading out of targets. But my God, I like select this. Oh, they are firing. Look, they're firing off the second round. Oh, okay, maybe it's only in certain situations. I guess they've all selected the same target because it's still alive, and they'll probably continue to do so. But my God, if someone's built up a bank of these things now, instead of firing at a couple targets and giving warning, God, I killed him in that too. But you could see that it spreads out to everything, right? Man, build up a bank, just surprise somebody and have that first volley take out half their base. Don't forget to build missile defense, kids. Yeah, just to confirm, that second wave came in at all the same targets the first time. But if you had more targets like that, it would continue. As soon as it realized they were dead, these launchers would each spread out to another target. You could quite literally eradicate their base in about 3 or 4 waves, depending on how far you were from the launchers. And they wouldn't know it was coming until the first wave came in and wrecked stuff. So build missile defense, build shields, but I guess most importantly, scout, because you should see that coming up within range before it ever fires at you. You know, I've never been sniped, clearly. All right, let's have fun.